What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Tomatolito Show. And we just got done watching the weigh-ins for UFC 259, an amazing card that has been put together. People are billing it as the best card of 2021, and we're barely 3 months into it. It is stacked. It is a stacked card with who's who of MMA, who's who of the UFC, and let's just break it down. Let's jump right in. Headlining. First of all, there's 3 titles on the line. 3 titles on the line. Headlining the event is none other than Izzy, Israel Adesanya, making the leap to light heavyweight and challenging newly crowned champion Jan Blachowicz. Adesanya, the middleweight champ, he's basically cleared out that division, now is taking a shot at becoming a champ, the 5th at that, at reaching that title, that moniker of champ. So he has his middleweight title. He hasn't relinquished it. He's looking to get that light heavyweight title and make his own history at that. Jan Blachowicz, newly crowned champion. He beat Dominick Reyes, became the champ. This is his first title defense. So look at the implications behind this matchup alone. Jan Blachowicz, the Polish power, stronger, bigger fighter overall, but not the taller fighter. Izzy Adesanya has history of fighting, having fought in the past at heavyweight, not in the UFC, but throughout his career. He's got a very decorated resume. He's fought at heavyweight, he's fought at light heavyweight, and now recently he's been running the show at middleweight since he arrived to the UFC. Izzy Adesanya stepping into the octagon with 20-0 as the middleweight champion and as the challenger to the throne of Jan Blachowicz in his light heavyweight division. Jan Blachowicz 27-8. And from there, we move on to the women's featherweight title, which is going to be the active and the only champ at the moment who is actively defending her titles. Conor McGregor, first to coin that phrase, the champ, doesn't have a title at the moment. Henry Cejudo, champ, left, retired, semi-retired, who knows, but he's acting like he's coming back. Daniel Cormier, retired. Amanda Nunez, active and defending her title. And she will be defending her title against none other than Megan Anderson. She's tall, she's lanky, she's got good power in her legs, good power in her hands, puts good combinations together. Megan Anderson could definitely pose a lot of problems for Amanda Nunez just with the height and reach alone. But Amanda Nunez is, and I know we've mentioned this in another episode that I recorded this week, the self-proclaimed GOAT in the fighting game is Claressa Shields, right? And she's proclaiming herself to be the GOAT, the greatest woman of all time, as far as boxing is concerned. She's now going to be delving into MMA. This year, she'll be making her debut. She has a fight tonight. She fights Marie-Eve Decaire in an undisputed, trying to unify all belts at the 154 division, at the super welter or the light middleweight division at that. So tonight she fights, and I can't wait to check that fight out. If you have a chance to check that fight out, check it out. Go to fight.tv, check that out. Danielle Perkins is fighting on the card. Marlon Sparza is part of that card. And it should be history in the making, right? Claressa Shields could go undisputed in this division. And this would be the second division that she goes undisputed in. Or Marie Decaire could become the undisputed champion at 154 and give Claressa Shields her first defeat. So that's something to watch. Now, Amanda Nunez is a champ, and I believe that she is the GOAT of MMA. She is the greatest woman of all time as far as the UFC is concerned. And we used to have many fighters that ended up opening this market up, such as Gina Carano, such as Cyborg, such as Ronda Rousey, of course, Ronda Rousey, right? Miesha Tate, Holly Holm. Amanda Nunez has gone through all of them, with the exception of Gina Carano, who retired after the Cyborg fight. Amanda Nunez has defeated everybody else that I just mentioned, all the big names in the sport. And now Megan Anderson is the newest threat, and she is going to pose a lot of problems for Amanda Nunez, I believe. The height the reach, the speed of those hands, the strength behind those hands, those punches, I think are going to pose a lot of problems for Amanda Nunez. I think the legs, she's gonna pose problems with the kicks. The ground game, I think Amanda Nunez is gonna have to take it to the ground, and that's where she's gonna be able to take control and put an end to this fight. That's the only way I see Amanda Nunez winning this, is holding her own on the feet until she could get to the ground and put an end to the fight that way. Amanda Nunez walks into this fight 20-4. Megan Anderson walks into this fight 11-4, and she is the challenger to the featherweight title, Amanda Nunez's featherweight title. And again, the only active champ. Here we go. In the first fight I just mentioned, which is the main event, Izzy looking to become a champ in his own right, meaning holding a second title or holding 2 titles in 2 weight divisions. Amanda Nunez is the only one actively defending those titles at the moment. So if that's not a legacy that she's leaving there, I don't know what is. Amanda Nunez is amazing, and I can't wait to see that fight. And then the third title fight in the bantamweight division, Peter Yan is 15-1, new champ in the bantamweight division, fighting none other than Aljo. Aljamain Sterling walking in with a 19-3 record. That has fireworks written all over it. And that's the fight that people are actually excited to see. That fight between Aljo and Yan is going to set off and be the perfect stage to set off and kick off the other 2 title fights. They're going to set the standard. I really believe that the caliber of fighters that these guys are, the power behind the hands of Peter Yan versus the versatility of Aljo, the ground game of Aljo. If he gets his back, it's over. No doubt about it. I think Sterling's ground game, I think Sterling's jiu-jitsu and grappling is a lot better and levels above Peter Yan, but the hands is the question. And if Peter Yan keeps us on the feet, I think the speed and the power is going to pose a huge threat for Aljamain Sterling. It behooves them to take this fight to the ground. But listen, that's where the intrigue lies as to how this fight will play out. Those are the 3 title fights. Leading the first of the title fights, which is Peter Yan and Aljo, is Makhachev against Drew Dober. Drew Dober, 23-9, journeyman experience, has been on a tear as of late, just performing really well, putting his game really well. Happy-go-lucky guy, doesn't talk bad about anybody, doesn't put those pressures on himself anymore, as he admitted earlier this week during his interviews. He just wants to get in there and fight. And he's got a really, really big test in a strong Islam Makhachev, 18-1 record. That's going to be in the lightweight division. And again, as if the division wasn't cloudy enough, it wasn't as confusing enough, these 2 guys are going to even, whoever wins, and if it's an impressive fashion, they're going to throw their name into that mix of all these muddy or bloody waters, I guess I should say, full of sharks in the top 10. Makhachev or Dober are going to throw their name in the hat and see who they could get. From the number 1 to the number 10, all live dogs in the lightweight division. It's an insane division and definitely by far one of my favorites in the UFC. Who else are we going to see? Thiago Santos, Alexander Rakic, also part of the main card. They're the ones that kick off that main card tomorrow night. In the prelims, the headline of the prelims is going to be none other than Dominick Cruz. He's finally back. We're going to get to see him in the octagon. He's fighting Casey Kenny, who brings a 16-2-1 record to 22-3 in Dominick Cruz's record. Who else do we see on there? Joseph Benavidez in the flyweight division. He's going to be part of the card. 28-7 record against Askarov, 12-0, undefeated fighter with 1 draw. Kai Kara France, another one coming out of Izzy's gym. He's the French speedster, right? The French fighter. He brings speed and kicks and angles and a fun style fight to, he's going to be fighting Rogerio Bontorin in the flyweight division. Who else do we have in this card? Tim Elliott is going to be headlining the early prelims. He's fighting Jordan Espinosa. Other than that, the card is stacked. The card is stacked. Amanda Lemos against Livia Renata Sousa, 14-2 record by Sosa. Amanda Lemos bringing an 8-1-1 record. That's going to be on the early prelims card. Listen, it's going to be fun. I hope you have a free Saturday. Enjoy the Saturday, full of fights, full of talent. This is going to be one to catch. If Izzy makes history and becomes the 5th ever so-called quote-unquote champ, that's going to be something to behold. If Jan Blachowicz defends the title successfully, his first title defense against none other than Adesanya, think about what this says. That's the statement that Blachowicz needs to set. This is my throne. And technically, he is supposed to defend that title. He is supposed to win. Adesanya's coming up from middleweight. Blachowicz, this is his division. He's supposed to defend that title. He's supposed to win. Yet the odds are looking the other way. The odds are favoring Adesanya and the talent that he is. So that's a you pick 'em type of fight. I think the power may be a little bit too much for Adesanya. I hope that this is not a Yoel Romero Adesanya type fight or a Paulo Costa Adesanya type fight where one, Romero Adesanya, neither was willing to engage. The Paulo Costa fight, we had one guy that didn't show up and now claiming to be drunk all night or be hungover while he was in the octagon because he drank the night before and he doesn't show up. I hope that's not Jan Blachowicz and Adesanya just ends up running through him. No excuses. So far it's been fairly friendly, fairly straightforward of a week, uneventful at that with the press conference. No big issues as far as COVID-related type issues. Anybody missing weight, stuff like that. So far, everything's been pretty straightforward. It looks like the UFC Apex is going to be on point. Come Saturday night, the weigh-ins were good. Everybody seems to be on the up and up, and the card could definitely be the most stacked and the best card of 2021. We'll see what else 2021 holds for us. But as of right now, 3 months into 2021 to kick off March, this is a stacked card and one that you cannot miss. UFC 259, 3 titles, 3 important fights. Check it out. Don't miss it. And again, tonight, in a few hours' time, we're going to see Clarissa Shields try to make history and become undisputed in another division in women's boxing against Marie-Eve Dicaire. And the upset is always looming in the air. And she's a very live dog and she could pull it off and make history in her own right. And that is speaking on Dicaire's behalf, of course. So take care of yourselves. Thank you for your continued support, for all your love, and I will continue sending episodes your way. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and we'll talk on the recap shows. Take care. Bye.